It was a stunner for many at the State House last week when Governor Chris Sununu announced he would veto the congressional redistricting map passed by his fellow Republicans in the legislature. Sometimes the governor takes his time before announcing his intentions to veto a bill, but just 11 minutes after the state Senate passed the GOP map, the governor's office sent out a statement saying that the map was, quote, not in the best interest of New Hampshire. As redrawn by the House, the proposed District 1 would have become much more Republican and the proposed District 2 would have become much more Democratic, essentially setting up safe seats on Capitol Hill for each major party. Sununu said before flat out he didn't like the map, but he never issued a specific veto threat, leading several State House Republicans to assume he would eventually come around and sign the legislation. Now they're left shaking their heads.
There's still some time in the legislature for them to put something together, and it's clearly something that the people of the state and I just think we can do better on.
What would you like to see? I guess, what are you looking for specifically? Is it time to be more definite about that now?
Well, when you do a redistricting, the map is perfectly legal, by the way. But if you just look at it, I always say it doesn't really pass the smell test, right? So it just looks really funky, and they've really moved a lot of towns and whatnot. And again, on behalf of all the people in the state, I think everyone just wants it to be better. And I think there's a lot of options out there to do that. Some of the reps have thrown some options around that I think are pretty darn good. So we'll see if they can get it done.
People need to compete, is what you're saying.
Yeah, look, the way the redistricting has been designed, the Democrats get their district and Republicans get their district. But that's not who we are as a state. I want something that more matches the character of the state. We're a purple state. I want Republicans over in CD2 to know that they can get good candidates and win and be part of the process, and Democrats in CD1 to be part of the process, as opposed to saying, well, the Democrat in CD2 is going to have the job as long as they want it, and the Republican in CD1 is going to have the job as long as they want it. That's just not who we are in terms of the character of New Hampshire. That's not the live free or die spirit. And so I think that's where everybody's really looking for, a little more of that balance.
Now, in the Senate, the lone vote against the congressional redistricting map came from Republican Majority Leader Jeb Bradley, who just happens to be the only state senator who's actually served in Congress, doing 2 terms in CD1. Bradley is likely to play a crucial role if there's going to be a compromise map. But right now, what we're hearing from House Republicans makes it sound like there is not a lot of interest in going back to the negotiating table. We'll be watching that one very closely.